Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abosede and this is Abosede Talks. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. And happy new year to us all because it's like the first official video since this year. I know I've been posting some shorts, but this is like the first official video. So I'm welcoming you all back to this space. If you're yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button right now and turn on your post notification because here is all about the good life, I would say. So today, tomorrow is Valentine, so I've decided to do like a 2 day love series, I would say, today and tomorrow. So today I'm going to be talking about how I met my husband, like the whole foundation. Then tomorrow I'm going to tell you guys how I knew that was actually my husband. So before we get right into the video, I want to share this good news with you guys. Hey guys, we have a camera. Like finally, we got a camera. I love it because it's doing fantastic job. I don't have to use my phone and I just love it. So please subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. I'm begging you. Okay, so without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. I know that myself and my husband had, in a way, told this story before, but today I'm picking it from a different angle. That angle that shows how God can be very intentional about human being, in this case about me, because some things that didn't I did not like do them intentionally, but God just turned them around and then they worked for good for me. So pay attention. It was the year 2018. But for the record, I studied German at the University of Ibadan. My husband studied German also at Obafemi Awolowo University. Okay, so in our third year, we there's this program, we call it equivalent year abroad program, meaning that instead of going to Germany, you go to a place that appear like Germany. And even up till now, there's an institute in Lagos where we all go to in our third year. So this particular year was no different. We went there, UI, OAU, and uni then, I believe, yes. So this is how God works. So this particular year, I'll be talking about like the behind the scenes. This particular year was the year I planned to defer my admission because of financial issues. I remember then that our lecturer was really kind enough to have extra classes with us because when we go to this institute, they will group me into a class and there's an exam you will write. We call it B1 exam to show your language proficiency. Do you get? So it's what depends on the class we will go into. So this our lecturer was so kind enough, thank you sir, to take us like some extra classes to prepare us for the exam. So while this was going on, I just told myself that why am I stressing myself? Going to Lagos is a whole lot. We all know that. Accommodation, the tuition fee, the upkeep, um feed everything. I thought about the whole thing and it wasn't looking possible. So I just told myself like, guy, you can defer this year. Then you join the next set to go to Lagos. So I left school and I only told one friend about it. So I guess people were asking about me. I guess people were asking about me and she had to say what the issue was. So on this very day, I was just on my own, wherever I was, and then she called me saying, hi, okay, there's somebody. I'm checking it. There's oh, there's somebody here that, oh, somebody in the class volunteered that you can stay with her. You can stay with her in her aunt's place. In her aunt's place, pending the time you find a place. So it looks like, oh, okay. But of course, I was still worried about the other stuff, but somehow I I set out to go. So that was how I could made it that year. So now fast forward to when classes started, all of that. I can't really remember how the other thing got sorted, honestly. But I knew it must have been an awesome, definitely always an awesome. We started the class and it was going well. So for my husband, um, I don't think I really noticed him from the beginning because even the class I was divided into two. Okay. And I think he was in the other class. I don't know. We only come together like every Friday for some other courses. So somehow I started noticing this guy. And the reason I noticed him was because he always appear, it will appear with different hairstyle. And I just couldn't make sense of it. Like, what's this guy like this? I couldn't make sense of it. Like, why is it like this? What's the feeling like? I honestly did not like that idea because to me, from the understanding that I've had, is that guys that appear like that, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know. They don't know nothing. Like they're just living life the way it comes to them. So that was the impression I had of him initially from start. And then somehow something happened one time during an exam or it was a test. I was sitting at the back, which is very unusual. I don't like sitting at the back during the test or exam because I know that's when the bad things happen. So this guy wanted to cheat. He was from the other school. He wanted to cheat, and I was just like, if you do it, I'm going to tell. I'm going to report you. And everybody was looking at me like, oh, was that necessary? Was that necessary? I just said, I'm going to tell. So of course he didn't. And I think now these guys from OAU, they live together in a place. And also I think the ladies also live together. So I think when they got home, they started talking about me, like, oh, whatever it is that they say. So my husband heard and he was like, oh, who is the lady? Who is this? Who is that? So that's how I believe he noticed me. Except he says otherwise. So Sha noticed me, then he will come to class, try to talk to me. Imagine someone that already has an impression of you. So will come trying to talk to me and it was just always like, who it already guy? Like who it nobody's interested, right? And then he will try to make some jokes, some dry jokes. Then nothing was funny to me because what is it? So he tried getting closer, making jokes, offering this, offering to do that, offering to do this, and I was just so very, very not interested. Like I don't pretend. I show to him that I'm honestly not interested. But somehow we started becoming closer because he won't stop talking. He will talk to me about what he's doing currently, where he's going, this one, that one. And I think at some point I started to listen to him. And when I started to listen to him, that was when he told me his intention. From the start, he told me his intentions. I just couldn't go ahead because firstly, I don't feel anything for him. And secondly, it doesn't look like someone I would even feel something for. Like I said, his appearance wasn't giving in any way. But the more we talk, the more we spend time together. Because I remember we always go to this garden to talk. Freedom Park. Anybody that knows Freedom Park in Lagos, on Lagos Island, we always just talk. And then I realized some things about him. I saw how kind he was, how intentional he was, how like he's a guy with dreams, you get, and all of that. Then I started thinking that if you have all of this in your head, why is your appearance not saying the same? Do you get? So I was really concerned for him. And at the time, he was a Christian. He has always been a Christian, but not that kind of devoted Christian. So, from all he was telling me, I just feel like if he has a relationship with Christ, a lot will be like very easy for him and her. Mind you, I wasn't trying to change him. That was has never been my intention because at the time I wasn't considering dating him at any point. So I just wanted him to know Christ for himself, to help him in his with all the dreams he has and everything. And and yeah, and that was what I was trying to do, just to tell him about Christ, so there can be like a change of lifestyle that actually suits what is in its edge to get me. So, and let me say this before I continue. My husband, aside the hair and the appearance, he has this ring he wears. And I remember I'm always telling him like, oh, don't shake me. I won't allow you shake me because I don't know what that ring is for. You know, I always tease him that way. And I always stand by it. You will not shake me, I will not shake you. So one time, I think after this thing keeps going on and on, then one day I noticed he doesn't have the ring anymore. I was like, oh, where's your ring? He said he doesn't know where he kept it. I felt like I believed him. Until one day, when one of my friends, my classmates from UI that stayed with them, called me one day in school. I was like, what's it? Did you tell Women, that's my husband, to stop to start doing this, doing that? He mentioned some things, and I was like, no. Did you tell him to stop doing that? I said, no. Of course, why would I tell him he's a grown up man? He now said that because he noticed that he has stopped doing this thing, this thing, this thing, and he has started doing this. And one of the things he has started doing was reading his Bible. And I was actually impressed, like, oh, you don't think it? You started doing that. He said, yes. I said, of course, he personally didn't tell me anything. He didn't tell me anything. And I'm not sure he knew that this guy told me, but it was by so in as our relationship progresses, I as our friendship progresses, I saw his genuine interest in actually wanting to take the relationship with God serious. So I involved one of my my baby is looking at me. I involved one of my pastor friends to pray with us. And yes, I joined I got involved in it because I genuinely wanted to help him, wanted to like support that church. So we had this 3 days program. In fact, we actually had to travel to Ibadan for that. We and it was I think we had a break or something. So we traveled to Ibadan. We went to this mountain and prayed. Guess what my husband did? My husband was this pastor friend that he actually liked. Ah, and they were praying about it. Me, I did not know. So I think at the end of the day, this pastor friend said something, which after years actually saw what he meant. He said that when I don't know who told me between both of them later that this was what they've been discussing. So he now said that what he saw is, or what God told him is that we would have to exercise a lot of patience. I don't know if it is me or my husband. I don't know which of us that we would need to exercise a lot of patience. That there's a way, but we need. In my as he was saying it, I told myself because I've been this person that I know that God can speak to me, and if God is sending it to me, then there has to be God, the Spirit of God in me, confirm what you're saying, and it has always been the case. So this time, maybe because I couldn't really feel whatever from this guy, when he said so, it was just a case of whatever, but not whatever like that, because I know God has spoken to me through this person a lot of times, so I couldn't really discard everything. But somehow, I just knew that I can't take this to heart. Let me focus on what I just want to do. So fast forward to so after the whole thing, um, I think he went back to Lagos. I think I was still at Ibadan. I can't remember anyway. So school continued. We were fine. We're doing okay. This guy tried to be my teacher. Trying to correct a lot of my grammatical errors when I speak, when I write. No, when I write German and all that. It was so annoying. Like, do you think, wow? But it was really cool to learn with him and all of that. So fast forward to December of that year, 2018, we had this cruising program because our program was gone. Now we're meant to return back to our school. So that day, my husband really wanted my attention because he wanted to have like some discussions. That was when we had our first photo shoot. That was when he gifted me a golden wristwatch. And I was just like, I don't want your wristwatch. We're not dating. You've asked me out several times. I said I'm not interested. Why did I collect something from you? And let me just see this. The things I've noticed about my husband, even while we were friends, is the fact that he paid attention to the things I see. He paid attention to people that are important to me. He's so kind. Like, and he's always willing to always give me things when it's the moment he perceives that I actually need them. So these things have been on the record, but I never for once thought, oh, this guy that has all this attribute, let me go and let me meet him. No. So that day that he gifted me that research, when I rejected it, oh my god, it was really, really a old moment. It felt very bad. It was the first time my husband cried in my presence. Oh my god. And then I was just sitting there, like, this thing doesn't have to be too dramatic and all. So I collected it anyways. I I went to it. That was in December. I came back to Ibadan. You still stayed back in Lagos because school has not resumed. In and mind you, while I was studying in Lagos, I was also working. I was working as a student assistant. Okay, so I was helping with the office uh, stuff, student assistant. So I was doing the things. So in February 2019, I was in Lagos and I got this email saying there's an offer for a student assistant and chance. I'll not be chanced. We're talking about making money. So I went back to Lagos. So at this time, I was staying with some of our classmates that were still there. Because school has really not resumed. So I was staying with them. And where they stay is not far from where the guys also, where they were staying. So whenever I go to work, my auntie was teaching was teaching German somewhere. So I'll be at work, and then my phone, my WhatsApp, I'll just see his message. You'll be like, "Oh, what would you like to eat when you get back?" Oh my god! Right now, I'll be like some good bumps. You'll be like, "Oh, what do you want to eat when you get back?" It's the fact that he went to work. He will get back and try to make something for me before I get back from work. He was just so crazy. Gosh. Anyway, so I'll come back and make food for me and all of that. So it was really a time. So that's February. Before I left, I just thought to myself, I think I should tell you this. Okay, like let's start this journey. Maybe along the line I'll actually feel something. That was like what? So it was February 3rd. I went he didn't know I was coming to Lagos. I didn't tell him nothing. We spoke that day, but I told him I was doing something in church. So he won't call me while I'm on the road. So I got there, he saw me, it was so. I wish somebody captured that moment. He saw me, I was at the apartment, the other guys were there. I think they went to watch to see the match. So immediately he entered, he was pressing his phone and then he saw me on the chair and everybody was shouting because I mean, you know how schools can be. Whenever they notice that they are two lover beds, everywhere is always dramatic. So they were just shouting all of that. It was so short and at the same time very, very happy. So that night I just told him, yes, we can start and all of that. But there was something I noticed. Even after saying that, I didn't feel anything. He was happy. I was just neutral. Do you get? So for the time that I was there, we will come, we will have a walk, all sorts. But the truth was, I love spending time with him. But that love thing was not there. That romantic connection was not there. And honestly, I think now I can agree. At the time, I had my own demons I was fighting, so that wasn't my focus. It wasn't. But after I worked, I think I worked for 2 weeks in Lagos, and then I came back to Ibadan. Guess what? Few days after, I just noticed that I just couldn't do it. I couldn't change the frequent calls, the messages, the all of that. I was freaked out. I just had to break it all up. Like, I broke it all up. Like, guy, I can't do this. I didn't call him to break up. I didn't text him. You know what I did? I wrote this document where I wrote about Adam and Eve. You know when you want to break up in a biblical way. That's what I did. I wrote a whole lot of I can't even remember the stuff I wrote, but I knew I linked it with Adam and Eve in a way, and then I sent it to him, and that was it. I knew it was very, very, it was a very bad breakup for me. For my end, I don't know, because I didn't really take time to think so much about it. And so, 2019, from that February, no talking, no saying. 2020, no talking, no saying. 2021, no talking, no saying. 2022, 2022, something happened. And that thing, I'm going to be telling you guys tomorrow. So make sure that you subscribe. I'm begging you guys, subscribe now and turn on the post notifications so you can hear it. So basically, that was how I met my husband. We met in Lagos in 2018. Yeah. So if you watched to this point, hmm, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And this is where I say bye and see you in the next one.